In this lecture, we are going to practice some of the examples of Kleen's theorem part 1. As the Kleen's theorem part 1 was all about the regular expression to finite automata conversion, or we can say that how a regular expression can be converted to equivalent NFA with epsilon closure. And Kleen's theorem part 1 is also providing you a systematic approach for this conversion, means step-by-step procedure to convert a given regular expression to equivalent NFA with epsilon closure. So in this lecture we are going to practice the examples for the same, but prerequisite for this lecture is lecture number 30 and lecture number 31, where we have covered the detailed explanation of Kleen's theorem part 1 and the equivalence of regular expression and finite automata. So let's start with the lecture. So Kleen's theorem part 1 is all about the conversion of the given regular expression to the NFA with epsilon closure. Now this was the Kleen's theorem part 1. We are just taking an overview for this Kleen's theorem part 1 before starting with the examples, because all these rules are going to be used for the example. So Kleen's theorem part 1 is all about two cases where we have the length of the regular expression greater than equal to 1 and the length of the expression is less than equal to 1. So these are two cases that we have covered in Kleen's theorem part 1. If the length of the expression is less than equal to 1, then we have the case number 1. And now we have covered if the regular expression is phi, if the regular expression is null, or if the regular expression is having only one input symbol in case 1, and if the length of the regular expression is greater than 1. So these case 1 is a base case. Now based on these cases we are moving to the case 2, where the length of the regular expression is greater than equal to 1. So for this, the regular expression is divided into multiple sub expression, and the multiple sub expression can be combined together using some union or the concatenation or the clean closure or the positive closure. So all these four cases we have covered in case 2. So all these cases comes under the case 2, where we have the length of the regular expression greater than equal to 1. Now for the proof of the Kleen's theorem, we have proved that the language of the new machine, means once we have to construct the machine M corresponding to the regular expression R, and after that we had proved that the language of the machine is equal to language of the regular expression. So we are the language of regular expression is also accepted by the language of the same machine, or the NFA with epsilon moves that we are constructed corresponding to the regular expression R. So just an overview of the case 1 of the Kleen's theorem part 1. For this we had taken three cases where the regular expression is phi, where the regular expression is null, and where the regular expression is having only one input symbol as A, or we can have any other input symbol. So for phi we were having start state and final state, but no connection between them, means we cannot be at final state from the initial state because we have no input symbol. So this is the language. Now if we have phi in the language, only a null to be accepted, then initial state is the final state, and this is the language of the machine. Now if we have only one symbol under case 1, so we have a single path from the initial state to the final state after getting that input symbol. So this is the language of the machine corresponding to this case. Now under case 2 we were dividing a regular expression into two sub expression as R1 and R2, and further R1 and R2 can be subdivided into sub expressions. So here are the tuples of R1 and R2, and the machine corresponding to R1 is N1 and the machine corresponding to R2 is N2, and we have proved these four identities in the case 2 of the Kleen's theorem. So union, concatenation, Kleen's closure, and the positive closure. Now these are the four cases of the case 2 of Kleen's theorem, where the first case is for the rule number 1 for the union, and this is the corresponding machine for that, and this was the case for the concatenation, where we have two expressions, sub expression, and combine them using the concatenation with n1 is followed by n2, means the machine 1 for regular expression 1 is followed by a machine of regular expression 2, and the language of the machine is same as the language of regular expression. Now the third rule is where we have the clean closure, we have used only one machine corresponding to the regular expression R1, and then we had just move to the initial state of that machine n1 just to repeat the pattern, as we are repeating the pattern here, and as the null is also acceptable, so we are moving from start state to the final state with the null symbol. So this is the move corresponding to this. Now for the positive closure, we have the same machine as this, rule number 3, just we have removed the initial empty move from the initial state to the final state, because we cannot be at final state being on the initial state. So we had just removed this because at least one occurrence of the regular expression is required for acceptance, at least one occurrence. So we have not required the initial state to the final state with null move. So these all are the cases of the Kleen's theorem part 1. Now starting with the examples. So our first example is construct the NFA for regular expression this. Here this is our regular expression. Now divide this expression into two parts as the length of the regular expression is greater than 1. So we are dividing the expression into two parts as R1 and R2, and R1 is having A and R2 is having B, and both expressions are combined under the union operation, means the first identity is used here. So to form the NFA with epsilon move corresponding to this, firstly we need to construct machine corresponding to R1, then we have a separate NFA or machine corresponding to N2. So for this we are having this machine corresponding to A, and this is a machine corresponding to the B. Now we have to perform the union of these two machines. So this is N1 according to the case 2 of the Kleen's theorem, this is N2. Now we have to perform union of these machines as N1 and N2. Now construct the NFA. These are the machines. Now we have to perform union, and as the rule says, we are just adding two extra states. Now this state is no more the final states. Now we are adding one more final state and one new initial state, and just combining them with the null move, and we have the complete machine for this union operation. So this is the final machine for this, and this will have two paths. Either we are moving from initial state through this part to the final state after receiving the symbol A, or we are moving from this part to this path on for input symbol B. So this is the complete machine for this given regular expression. Now coming to the example number 2, we have to construct the NFA with the same machine for the example 1, just we have the clean closure. Here the expression is A plus B with clean closure. So here we are dividing R1 plus R2 and then clean closure of union of these expression. So here this complete is taken as the one expression for the clean. For clean closure, this complete is acting as one expression. So we had one means machine from the first example as input. Next we have to perform the clean closure of the example 1 machine. So this is the machine from the example 1. For this expression we have this machine. Now we have to perform clean closure, and the rule says we just need to add one extra start state and one extra final state. Now we just need to repeat this machine. As we need to repeat this machine, this state is not the final state now. So for repetition we have null moves here. So repetition is done using we are moving from this state to this state with the null input symbol to repeat this state. As we have multiple occurrence or recursive occurrence of A plus B, means this expression is repeating multiple times. So to repeat this expression R, we just need to after receiving or after having one occurrence of this machine, this regular expression, we need to move back to the initial state to repeat these pattern. So So we are moving from the final state to the start state, and also null is acceptable. So this move is required, because being on the start state we must accept the state. So either make the initial state as a final state, or we can have move from initial state to the final state with a epsilon. Okay, so this is the final machine for this expression of example 2, where we are using machine 1 in repetition, and we are having a null move from the initial state to the final state for this null acceptance. Now coming to the example number 3, where we have to construct the regular expression for the same machine of example 1, but this time we are taking the positive closure. So for positive closure, as one occurrence is required, so we have the same machine as example 2, because for repetition we have just added this move, means the regular expression is repeated here when we are moving back from start state to the initial state after one occurrence of the expression. So this expression need to be repeated, but one occurrence is required. So this machine is same as the previous machine. We just remove the null transition, because we cannot move from start state to the final state without reading any input symbol. So one occurrence or one input symbol is must. Here the regular expression R is required to be appear once. So we are moving from start state to the final state. Once we are on this state, only then we can repeat this step, this expression. So that's why we are moving from final state to the initial state with an empty move. So with an empty move, this is required to repeat this expression, right? So this is very similar to the previous machine. We just remove the this null move, because we cannot accept the null here. So we are not requiring this move for positive closure. Next we have construction of NFA for this given regular expression as A plus B star A B B. So here we have to apply many rules from the Kleen's theorem part 1, as we have union here, Kleen's closure here, and also the concatenation. So we can say that the complete regular expression R can be divided into two sub expressions as R1 and R2. Okay, we can further divide these sub expression into further sub expression, as R can be divided into A and B. R2 can be divided into three sub expression as A, B, B. So these are the case 1 of the Kleen's theorem part 1, and these are also case 1 of the Kleen's theorem part 1. Next we have to perform the union of these two machines, okay, and we have to perform concatenation of these three machines. So after that we have to perform concatenation of this machine with this machine. So this is the way how we can draw the complete NFA from the given regular expression. So first, following the first method, we have this for corresponding to this sub expression R1, we have this machine. So this is the machine for R1, as we have covered this in previous examples. Now we have to draw the machine for R2, that is concatenation of, again the concatenation of three machines from the case 1 of Kleen's theorem. So we can directly concatenate these expression, as from this we are getting A, next we are getting a B, or next we are getting a B, and we are at the final state. So this is not the final state now. Okay, so this is the complete machine for this, as we have concatenated these states, means the final state of A machine is concatenated with the initial state of B machines, right? So this is the way how we convert a given regular expression to NFA with epsilon closure using Kleen's theorem. But we can also directly construct NFA for this expression as we are having A plus B star. So here at initial state A or B, any combination is acceptable. After that we have to accept A double B, or this is the expression for string ending with A double B. If you check carefully, this is the expression for string ending with A, B, B. So this is the simple NFA. You can directly draw this NFA also, instead of going with this lengthy approach. So you can also directly draw this NFA as A or B means at initial state we can have any occurrence of A or B as we are repeating this machine. So this here is the loop for repetition of this machine, and after that we just need A, B, B. So we have concatenated A, B, B, and the example is done or the construction is complete. Now next example is construct the NFA for this regular expression where we have this as R1, B A star and R2 as AB star. So we have here we have the concatenation of B with A star, as we can have B followed by any number of A's or 0 number of A. Next we can also have A followed by any number of B's. So we have union here, we have concatenation here. So simply from the initial state cannot be the final state because we need at least one occurrence of R1 or R2. Both expression are in union, so at least one occurrence of R1 or R2 is required. After that, if we are getting R1, 1B is required, and if we are getting R2, 1A is required. So initial state cannot be the final state here. So starting with the first expression R1, we have to receive B, and once we have received B, we are at the final state, and at final state we can have any number of A's as we have A star followed by B followed by A star. So we can have any number of A's once we received a single B. So here we have the self loop of A. So A's occurrence is 0 or more time here. Next, for this expression R2, we have to receive one input symbol as A. After that we can have any number of B's. So this is the final NFA for this regular expression. So this is our machine for R1 and this is our machine for R2. You will find these example in your book of R.B. Patel for automata theory. So you can also follow the book for these examples. From next lecture we will be starting with the grammar and the introduction to grammar, types of grammar, etc. Thank you.